Teamwork. It's what the Blues are all about. Whether they're on the ground or flying just inches apart, working together as a group is the key to the squadron's success.
Every day you fly, you put your life in others' hands, just as your contract to them is that you're going to do your job so that they can count on you.
I count on 2 and 4 and 1 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and everybody else to be doing what they need to do in order to make the whole effort successful, and they in turn count on me. There's no room for any conflict of interest or personality conflicts.
There's no individuals on this team, and it's the group is what is impressive.
And there's a lot you can do with a team that you'd never ever be able to do as an individual. So I think that with this teamwork and we're helping each other out, that every day goes by, it gets better.
You know, you have to pick people like this. You have to know what they're going to do in an emergency. It's almost like second nature, how they're going to react if something goes wrong, because things go wrong. You see a beautiful show up there. There's always something that doesn't go according to the line. And the reaction has to be instantaneous, and you have to have somebody that, well, you have trust in what he's going to do.
We spend so much time together. We spend 10, 12 hours a day together, so you learn each other's moods and feelings and idiosyncrasies. And, it's like a big family.
Somebody made the comment to me the other day, they couldn't believe how well we get along. And I don't know what it is from an outsider's viewpoint in, but I think for the most part we get along real well. Sure, you know, we get, like anybody else, it's kind of like a family. You know, you go through your ups and downs, but I think for the most part, I'll miss being around a group of guys that I know, I know when they're having fun, when they're not having fun, when it's time to be serious.
We have little spits and spats, but normally we can just rib the other guy and say, hey, you know, what's the matter with you? Get over it, and we're okay.
If somebody's having a hard time in a flight, you can immediately tell it on the radio, and then the other three kind of pull you along. It's actually kind of neat.
We know we're our own worst enemies, and when we make a mistake, we tend to get depressed and down on ourselves, and you can hear it in the voice comms. When somebody checks in, you can hear their voice drop, you know, that, oh man, they're just saying, can't believe I did that. But you just try to pump each other up. You check in with a little cheerier voice, and you try to bring them back up.
Back in the 80s, the Blue Angels used to be called the Navy Flight Demonstration Team, and then it got changed to Squadron. But no matter what you call them, it's still very much a team.
The maintenance crew is obviously the heart of the team, because they're the ones that make it happen. If they weren't out there fixing airplanes and keeping them ready and getting them ready for us to fly, there would be no demonstration.
The Blue Angels are, it's a total team concept. A lot of people, for obvious reasons, the general public think the Blue Angels are the 6 demo pilots, but the whole team are Blue Angels. And yes, probably more than anything, the maintenance department, the troops, don't get as much as the credit as they obviously should for putting airplanes in the sky and giving the guys quality jets to fly. They know that they do real well, the pilots know that they do real well, and that they're in the sky because of the maintenance department.
God, they're important, you know. You trust your life to them. They're the ones that put you in the bird that they've taken care of, and they're just as proud of as we are.
Long before the air show begins, the maintenance crew preps the jets for the day's flight. They do it all, from cleaning to refueling to performing all the necessary repairs to ensure the safety of the jets and the pilots who fly them.
I kind of use the maintenance crew turning up airplanes sometimes as my alarm clock, because they're over there a full 2 hours before we go fly, and they go out, get in the airplanes, crank them up, get them started, make sure all the systems are a go. If they're not, they fix them, and then we go flying 2 hours later. So they're on the scene a long time before we are. We leave the flight, go back, debrief, and they're still over there working, getting the airplanes ready for the next day.
We take basically 25 people on the road with us to the show site, and with those 25 people, we keep 7 airplanes flying plus a C-130.
I'm a jet engine mechanic. I work on the fuel systems, I work on the engines, I work on the smoke system.
I'm an egress environmental technician, working on the ejection seats, the air conditioning systems, the oxygen systems, all the life support equipment for the pilots.
My job consists of keeping him alive, making sure the safety of the aircraft and the pilot,
my main purpose there. I take care of the servicing and make sure everything's clean and taken care of, and strap him in, make sure he's ready to go, launch him out and make sure that I recover him.
During the show, you'll see young men and women out in front of the airplanes all lined up, looking real sharp and crisp. They're out there to give us the signals, to check our airplanes over. We cycle the flight controls on their signal. We'll put the flaps up and down and reset the trim settings and things like that. Check the smoke systems. It's their last chance to look our airplanes over really in a fine fashion. And the hand signals they use are to send us signals, and they also send each other signals. They do things very precisely, just as we do in the air.
There's a little saying we have, the Blue Jets come first, and that's no kidding. The Blue Jets come before anniversaries, birthdays, holidays. The Blue Jets come before dinner. The Blue Jets, we're there to perform, whatever it takes.
If it takes guys coming in on their liberty hours, you know, in civilian clothes to rivet up a panel for us, they'll come in and do it and go on.
In essence, I sort of become the air traffic controller for the team during our flight demonstrations.
Good afternoon, boss. Surface winds are 240 at 6. Altimeter is 3013. We own the airfield and the airspace, sir. You're cleared for taxi and takeoff, runway 25. Have a good show, sir. Thank you, Bo.
Basically talking to the aircrew while they're flying, if there's problems with other aircraft in the area.
Plus, Mo. Go ahead. Yes, sir. I have an intruder. Crowd left right over the I-90 bridge, sir, about 1,100 feet.
Okay, we're going to hold here then for that intruder to clear the airspace.
If something breaks, even if it's during any one of those flight times, if anything breaks, we're there to fix it.
Scooch has landed with oil pressure problem on the single zone.
Just because the Blues are airborne doesn't mean the maintenance crew can relax. During one demonstration, the number 5 jet, piloted by Lieutenant Commander John Foley, is forced to land with an oil pressure problem. By the time he has parked the plane, the maintenance crew has the spare jet prepped and ready for takeoff. Without missing a beat, Gucci, now flying the number 7 jet, is able to rejoin the team for the remaining maneuvers. No problem is too big or too small for the maintenance crew. They'll take as much time and do whatever is necessary to make sure all 6 jets are ready to go.
This problem we had with this aircraft was a fire leak detection element was grounded out, and we had to pull the engine out so our electricians and our seat mechanics could get in there and change the element out. Turnaround time varies a lot according to if we run into difficulties. But a good engine change, we can have an engine completely changed in an hour and a half, buttoned up, turned and everything, if everything goes good.
Here everybody works together. If a plane goes down for another shop and say power plants, it's not for power plants and we don't have anything else to do, we'll go out and help them because we like to see the planes up in the air. It's nothing like, it's not our problem, it's everybody's problem.
A little thing in our narration said that never been an air show canceled due to maintenance difficulties since 1946. And that's something each and every one of us are real proud of.
It's kind of like an old George Will story where he talked about one aspect of a program being the thunder and the other aspect being the lightning. Well, we're kind of the lightning. We go out and flash around and everybody looks at us, but the thunder, the heart, the strength and the force and where it comes from is the maintenance crew.
Ready, hit it. Yeah.
The F-18 is the Blue Angels' aircraft of choice and is considered one of the finest jet fighters currently flying the friendly skies. And sometimes not so friendly skies. From the beginning, the Blue Angels have flown the best planes the Navy had to offer. In 1946, they debuted in the Grumman F-6 Hellcat, but the Hellcat only lasted 4 months as the team realized they needed a more responsive aircraft. Their search led them to the F-8 Bearcat, a modified version of the Hellcat. The Bearcat fit the bill for the next 3 years. In 1949, the jet age ushered in the F-9 Panther, which later served the Navy successfully in the Korean War. In 1955, the team switched to the F-8 Cougar, their first supersonic jet. Always looking for more engine power, the team switched to the Grumman F-11 Tiger in 1957, the first jet the team flew with an afterburning engine, giving them the extra punch they were looking for. Still, in 1969, the team moved on to the McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom. This frontline fighter served with distinction in Vietnam and was the team's first and only Mach 2 aircraft. Maintenance problems plagued the Phantom, so in 1974 they switched to the McDonnell Douglas A-4 Skyhawk. This super nimble little jet became the favorite of pilots as well as audiences for over 10 years. Currently, the team flies the McDonnell Douglas FA-18 Hornet. This versatile aircraft is the first to be designated as both a fighter and attack jet, and will carry the team into the 21st century.
Well, it's the Navy's strike fighter. It's designed to be both a air-to-air weapon system and an air-to-ground weapon system. In fact, during the Persian Gulf War, it was the only aircraft that the same airplane on the same mission shot down an Iraqi MiG and then went and dropped bombs on Iraqi targets. So, very versatile airplane.
The F-18 is such a beautiful airplane. It has a head-up display, and you're looking through the front windscreen, and you're seeing green light imagery that gives me all the parameters I need, the airspeed, the altitude, the G-loading, the attitude of the airplane, just about anything I need.
We usually fly about 400 to 500 miles per hour during the show. Anything faster than that, and you really don't get a chance to see what's going on all that well. Now, there are times in the show when the solos will come by just under the speed of sound, at Mach 0.9, 6, 7, or 8, or something like that. But the maximum speed of the airplane is rated at 1.8 Mach. It's not the fastest fighter around, but it's certainly one of the most capable.
I think the F-18 is absolutely the world's best fighter, so I think that's enough said.
The Hornets aren't the only aircraft you'll see at a Blue Angel show. You'll probably see a big blue and white transport. This Lockheed C-130 carries all Blue Angel support personnel and equipment to each show site and is affectionately called Fat Albert.
The C-130 was originally assigned to the team in 1970, and that was back when Bill Cosby's cartoon show was on in the mornings. And one of the pilot's kids, when the thing showed up, Bud said, "Hey, the thing looks like Fat Albert on TV," and the name stuck. So we're known as Fat Albert Airlines. Our normal configuration for Bert is about 25,000 pounds worth of cargo. And that's spare parts, tools, publications on the airplanes, quite a good deal of luggage for everybody. And then we'll put normally a crew of 5 on the airplane. And then we'll have anywhere between 36 and 40 passengers in addition to the crew. So in the back it's been pretty crowded sometimes.
Basically, we have 3 aircraft commanders that are on the team. You know, all 3 of us, we rotate through the front seats. We take turns. Scooter's flying in the left seat today. Tomorrow will be my turn. Basically, my first year on the team, I'm learning how the team works. So the M1, the senior Marine on the team, is in charge of the operations part of it, as far as scheduling and when Bert does what.
We've got onto one of the other radios we monitor, which is a squadron frequency, that we can talk to the jets, or if they need help from us, if they're having trouble, if they're braking, they're going to divert somewhere, they can call us up and we'll follow them to whatever airport they go to take care of any mechanical problem they might have. We've also got the capability of calling anybody in the world on our high-frequency radios. We do that a lot to check to make sure they get to where they're going.
One of the most unique things about Fat Albert is its JATO takeoff, which is demonstrated at selected Blue Angel air shows. JATO stands for Jet Assisted Takeoff and is used for getting the C-130 off a short runway. 8 solid fuel rockets burn for about 14 seconds, producing the additional power of a 5th engine.
And we can climb in the 14 seconds that the bottles burn to an altitude of about 1,200 feet above the ground. When you fly an airplane like this, you can't do it by yourself in this airplane. the amount of crew coordination that goes on. Sometimes it looks like a three-ring circus in here when we're doing checklists and everything, because everybody's doing what they're required to do, and it all meshes perfectly into getting the mission done, what's required.
Fat Albert has been doing what's required for over 20 years and continues to be a critical part of the Blue Angels Air Show. Of all the things that are required to make it in the Blues, the most important may be stamina. After flying 68 shows over cities all across the U.S., the Blue Angels are about to launch the biggest European tour in their history, including a peek behind the Iron Curtain.